Good morning and welcome to our crafting session this morning. It's Monday the 27th of November 2023. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the Midlands in the UK. If you're watching live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who's watching with us and feedback any useful information as we go along. If you're watching on catch up or replay, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube, if you have any queries or comments or want to know how I did something or what products I've used, don't hesitate to pop those in the comment section either on Facebook or YouTube. I do monitor both of those channels for comments. Occasionally I'll miss one, and if that is the case, feel free to comment again or just message me. It's a very dull morning here this morning. We had some lovely sunshine over the weekend, but today just very dull. Typical rather sad winter's day. So to brighten things up, we are going to be using this stamp set. Now, we do actually have snow forecast here for later in the week, so it's appropriate that our coffee and card design is using a snowflake stamp set. It's called Sparkling Snowflakes, as you can see, and it has 4 sentiments, and these are perfect really for winter birthdays as well as Christmas cards. So we have winter greetings, let it snow, make the season sparkle, and for you. And then we have 6 different snowflake stamps, 3 of which are very detailed and 3 of which are like shadow stamps, so you can use them on their own, but they work particularly well in combination with the detailed stamps. This is in our mini catalogue that's retiring at the end of this month. It also has a matching tag topper punch. This is perfect for making tags. You can't really see the design in this reflection, I'm sorry, but I can show you it here. And it punches out a snowflake top, so that it's just a single stamp punch, and what I've done is punched it on both sides of this piece of card. So the section here is 5 centimeters, or just snip under 2 inches, and you can just cut lengths of card to 5 centimeters, pop them in, and then what you want to do is release the lock at the back, and I find it easiest to use the heel of my hand to get pressure onto there. It's quite an intricate punch, so I tend not to do it this way because it does need a fair bit of pressure to do that. Obviously you can turn it over to see that you've got everything in line, and it creates this fab little design, and I've done this to make a little area for my sentiment. So let's see who's joined us this morning, and then we'll get cracking. So let me see when my phone catches up with the rest of us. It does take its time, and no wonder people can't find me, especially on a Monday morning. So Jeanette, good morning to you. Lovely to have you back. I hope you enjoyed your break from Facebook. And then Teresa, good morning to you too. So Sparkling Snowflakes and a coordinating punch is what we're using. Let me show you the cards. So these are what we're making in coffee and card. We made them on Friday. You'll have seen some samples, and also today in Toaster and tomorrow in Brackley. So what I've got is I've got a base white card, and then I've cut a layer of card, either Balmy Blue or Fresh Freesia, Hello Pauline, good morning to you. And then I've stamped in the background here, this is Pool Party and Misty Moonlight. So I've also added in the small snowflakes from the Very Cute stamps. I wanted some small ones to fit in. So what we're going to do is stamp over the background. I then cut out some elements here. These are from the Nested Essentials dies, and these are the are they the smallest? Yes, I think they are the smallest of those two shapes, just to add a little bit of interest. So we've got this one here that stands portrait, hoping you can see that okay. And then we've got this one here, and I've just stamped this in the background in Night of Navy. And then this one here, good morning Nicole, I've stamped in the background here with Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. And I wrapped a little bit of ribbon round a couple of those as well. And then added some bling, of course. Hopefully you can see that. So really simple design. Let's get stamping. I'll put one of these at the side here so anybody joins us after the beginning can see what we're up to. Let's grab a piece of paper. This is the back of the shapes that we made into sunflowers. I can see that. Okay, so we're going to start with our backing. So I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia one again. And I am going to grab those smaller snowflakes from Very Cute as well. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. Let's find some blocks, pop these on. That's those two. And here we go. So I'm going to use these two here, which is that one. So I'm using the detailed ones, but you could easily use the background ones, and that one there. So I'm going to stamp the background first. Now on one of these, this one here, I alternated the snowflakes with the Let It Snow sentiment. Hopefully you can see that. But you could just do an all over design if you wish. And right in front of me I have the ink pads I prepared underneath my phone. Dear dear. So I've got Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia. Just thought it was nice to have something different other than the blue. So let's see how we go with Highland Heather. Just move that to one side, and maybe a little bit of Gorgeous Grape. And you've got a better chance of seeing what I'm stamping. So this is Highland Heather. Let's have a look and see. So I'm just going to do an all over pattern. I'm leaving a gap in between so I can fit some of those smaller ones on. And the secret with making it look quite natural is making sure that your snowflakes, or whatever you're stamping, whether they're flowers, go off the edge rather than trying to keep them all in, because it just doesn't look natural like that, unless you've got a symmetrical pattern, in which case that's different. And also, if you make triangles, even triangles with each of your stamped images, then that will also look quite naturally spaced. Okay, let's see what I've got. So I've got slightly larger of the two from Berry Cute, and you can either just use these in between, or you can connect and sort of stamp two together. Entirely up to you. So I'm going to leave a little space for the tiny little one, and again just make sure they're going off, even if it's just off the edge like that. The smallest amount can make it look quite a bit more natural and random. And then I've got the small one here, so let's attach the small one to the bigger snowflakes. Now some of this is going to be covered up anyway, and so if you make a mistake or you slightly misstamp it, it's really not the end of the world. And you could do this in any combination of colours. You could use blues, you could use greys. I think this would be really pretty with a grey background, grey granite with smoky slate and pebbled path. So there we go, there's our background piece. And then let's stamp our sentiment. I haven't actually decided what sentiment I'm going to use. I have got a piece of Highland heather here that I'm going to use for my tag base. So let's punch that first. I could actually use Gorgeous Grape. Let me see if I've got some to hand. I have. Let's just try it with the Gorgeous Grape for a change. So you want this to be 5 centimetres, which is just under 2 inches. Like so. And let's just move those ink pads out of the way. Let's make this into 3 and I can use those later. Okay, here's my punch. So you can buy this as a bundle, and that's the punch and the stamp set, or you can just buy the stamp set. So you want to push the piece of card right the way to the top, and then, as I said, use the heel of your hand and you get this really pretty snowflake, so it's sort of half in, half out. And you can use that as a tag in its own right and thread ribbon through this hole here if you want to. Just move these pieces out of the way. Yes, it's a little bit different with the purples, isn't it, Jeanette? Okay, so I've got this rounded rectangle, which you could use either way, and I've got this flag. So what I could do is either just cut that, or I could trim the other side so that I've got a complete banner with this on both sides. Let's see if I've got a sample of that. No, so let's do that. I'm hoping this is long enough. Bear in mind that when you punch this out, obviously you lose a little bit of the end. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was lucky. That was definitely more by luck than judgment. If you wanted to be more accurate with your measurement of that, then what I would do is I would take that piece there and measure it. Oh, my ruler's in the other room. And no, let's do it from here, that if you wanted to have a piece that was larger than your die cut, for example, then you need to add twice that amount on. So let's just see what this measures. So this is about 2 centimetres. Oh, that's okay, Catherine. Oh, you haven't missed most of it, you're okay, only the stamping. And then you've got the same reflection here, so basically 4 centimetres. No, it's not quite as much as that. Oh yes, with that piece there. Okay, so 3.5 centimetres, because there is an overlap here, is what you would need to allow on each side. So if you wanted this piece to be 5 centimetres, you would measure 5 plus 3.5 plus 3.5, so 5 plus 7 is 12. So a 12 centimetre piece would give you a piece then that left you with 5 centimetres in the middle. Does that make sense? Because obviously you lose some on either side, and it's got this design element in there. Okay, let me just fold this piece of paper over. So I'm going to go with that piece in the middle and then use it as a complete piece. So let's stamp Winter Greetings, I think, from here. I do like that one, because that would be perfect for somebody who doesn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, or maybe who has a December birthday. Let's find a block. So I'm going to stamp that in Gorgeous Grape. Let's test it out first, make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be. I'm going to stamp that in the middle, roughly, slightly high, and then I'm going to add a little bit of those snowflakes that I used earlier. So this is the detailed one in Highland Heather, like so. And then let's add a little bit of this one in Gorgeous Grape. I'm using a little bit extra pressure because I'm going over the edge, which is which has stitching on it. Let's just attach another one there, like so. So that then is going to sit on there. So it just looks a little bit more interesting. If you had a larger sentiment, then obviously that would be fine just on its own. Okay, so let's put this together. So depending on your size of your piece here, you could make this portrait or landscape. This, logically for me, the way that I've cut this works in landscape, and that whole thing is going to go onto a white base card. You could add another layer behind it, so I've cut this layer to 10 centimeters by 14.35, but if you wanted to, you could cut this to 9.5 by 13.85 and then add a Gorgeous Grape layer behind it. But I'm keeping these simple. I am going to stamp a sentiment inside, so let's do that before I do anything else. Oh, and I found some purple bling. Let's see what we've got. May your Christmas be merry and bright. Is that what I'm going to have? Yes, why not? Nice bold sentiment if it will fit on here. Yes. Okay. Right, I'm going to stamp this in Gorgeous Grape, but I just want to try it out first. I don't think I've used this stamp. I tend to go for the other one, the Wishing You a Very Merry Christmas, and just using the grid paper line up with my block, and I can see as you can see that that's not straight. I can see now it's not straight at all, so let's correct that. Try that. It's always worth checking before you do your stamping. It may be that I've put the label on. That's better, slightly wonky. Right, so let's turn this over, put this in the middle, so I now know if my block is relatively straight, then the sentiment should be straight, not wonky like it, as it looks. And sometimes when the rubber has been cut, if it's not quite aligned, it can look as if it's a little bit lopsided, so always worth checking. And I tend to just use some grid paper. You could use some squared paper. Oh, he fell off my chair. And let's put this on here. Yes, I've definitely got that label on wonky, haven't I? For the blues, I use Balmy Blue Card, and in this one, Night of Navy for my ink. There we go. And maybe I'll put a few snowflakes on there. Why not? Let's go for this fine one. Because it's lighter, I can stamp it over like that. And then let's go for the smallest one. Here and here. Okay, and of course it did indeed, Catherine, because my other one so this one I stamped in Pool Party and Night of Navy, but Pool Party, I mean, to be honest, any blues that you've got, hi Michelle, any blues that you've got will work. Purples, pinks, silver, grey, and it would be stunning with heat embossed silver, wouldn't it? So there's my inner, it's that one there, and then let's put a few, I might put Winter Greetings on the front of here, and a few snowflakes. Winter Greetings, and then I've got this nice like that, and just because I can, let's put some of these on here. This is a middle-sized one. Let's leave that one and just have the little one then. There we go. So I think you can't go wrong with snowflakes, can you? You really can't. Just going to put that on the edge like that. Okay, let me put these ink pads away before I drop anything in them. So there's our envelope with our winter greetings on and our snowflakes on the back. And let's put this together. So make sure I've got my sentiment the right way round. That's going to go onto there. So some glue, like that. And there isn't really a right or wrong way, but sometimes the backgrounds look better one way than the other. And also if you've got any blemishes or anything that's mis-stamping, then you can position that to your advantage. And then we've got our panel here. So I'm going to pop, am I going to pop this up? Yes, I'm going to do this flat and then my panel on dimensionals. And it throws quite a nice shadow over the card. So if you remember, 7 centimetres in total. On top of whatever width this is, will make an exact fit. Right, let's find some dimensionals, which I have right here in front of me. So this is our coffee and card design for this afternoon and tomorrow. And I'll be featuring it again. I think I have to do some heat embossing. Haven't done any heat embossing for ages, and this just calls out for it, doesn't it? So heat embossing on Thursday for sure. Okay, so let's see, am I going to put it in the middle or slightly high? I think in the middle. So I'm just going to let that relax rather than push it down. Make sure I'm happy with it. Yeah, that will do. Then you can tap it down. And then I happen to find, I know they're a little bit big, but these lovely coloured gems. So I don't normally, you can tell I don't usually use the big ones, which is why the big ones are all left. But they are quite nice and flat, so I'm just going to add those. 1, 2, and 3 to those larger. Now I want to do 5. Why not? There we go. That's it. And that's our card finished. Hopefully you can see that. Oops, sorry. I think I must be sitting at an angle, or my camera's at an angle. I do apologise. And then we've got our May Your Christmas Be Merry and Bright on the inside. And then we've got our coordinating envelope. So really easy design. If you've got snowflake stamps, then dig those out. As I said, it makes a nice winter birthday card as well, so you could easily switch this out for happy birthday with snowflakes, and good for people who don't necessarily celebrate Christmas for whatever reason. It's a nice, you could send this, you know, any time through the winter, couldn't you? So there we go. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Spot on time, just after 10:30. Welcome to anybody who's joined us since we started live. This will be uploaded to Facebook this afternoon, and we'll be at Coffee and Card in Toaster at Watling Street Village. So if you're anywhere near our toaster this afternoon and you want to join us, we'll be there from 2:30. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, do give it a try. And also, this is snowflakes, but these could easily be flowers or, you know, anything else. So it's just a useful, you know, simple stamp over the background, add a sentiment on the top. So here are some other samples for anybody who missed those. And this one I've added the Fresh Freesia ribbon. So I've just stamped the one side and then added the ribbon and a little bit of bling. So thank you so much, everyone. Do take care. Have a great day. Look after yourselves. Look after your loved ones and keep crafting. Thank you so much. Bye for now.